when we talk about how you're going to sort of like deter dives or deter sort of any encroaches upon your Widowmaker, we don't have a sustained shield on the side of United Kingdom, so KSP is going to be relying upon Winston shields from Christopher potentially, or a defense matrix from Smek to try and survive any incoming Widow shots, which could be offered by Yona if he decides to stay on this Widowmaker. And of course, Facility is what we know to be a very good hands-out. Against double sniper, it can be very, very strenuous if you're a single Widow, because you're never quite sure about what the safe sight lines are. And Facility has great synergy with Yona, because he can add out that Sonic Arrow, which is basically like a mini infra sight, and allows everyone on the team to have that vision.
Talking about information, Smek's actually just going obviously a little bit further up there to gather his thoughts and gather a bit of info on the enemy team when they're running out the gate. Just means they know exactly what they're doing. So he knows now they are running a Widowmaker. Yona is piloting that one, and they will be able to really have that to KSP, who can just adjust his play accordingly. You can be so much more aggressive when you're not going against a Widowmaker. However, going against that, you can be a little bit more conservative. Kib on the Sombra, you can already see instilling fear in the Netherlands. They're scared where he is.
Yona checking for those cheeky hackers. They do get around, and Kib now going to be moving in towards the back. He's going to pass up the chance to go on Crusade. Instead, he's going to decide to move in onto Yona and Saab.
Oh, nice dive. You can see Kib cutting off the entrance actually to the mini health pack, but Christopher, he went down. Facility was ready there with the Storm Arrow, plunked a few arrows straight through his skull, and that will mean Netherlands are going to push onto this point.
Potentially Christopher getting into a place where Boombox couldn't give him that long-range healing. KSP could be in big trouble here. If he moves out, he will be up against that Venom Mine, which will reveal him to the enemy Widow.
He was revealed there by that Sonic Arrow. Takes a headshot, in fact, or someone did. It might have been KSP, not entirely sure.
Someone took a headshot.
Someone took a headshot. I heard the ding. Jonah got a bit of ult charge. Still controlling the point here. They have a tick available, and Facility now has the ultimate too. Problem is, KSP, he's now on the high ground, and Christopher and Boombox are just sweeping up. Now, but Christopher with the nano boost, who's extremely low, sub 50 HP, but does manage to get out alive.
Does also mean that Cruz can use his healing aura here to get a huge amount of healing ultimate charge off of Christopher, but this is why Christopher isn't going to be giving him just that. Instead, it's going to use a hacked health pack. The Kib is hacked under the small glass room there to get himself 250 HP every 4 seconds, which gives him a huge amount of sustainability. He does have to expend a movement cooldown to get back to that in good time.
He's right there. Facility's ready. He's actually spotted out the Iron here, wants to take a couple of plunk shots at Boombox. The MP did come through fairly early from... no, the hack, sorry, did come through on the Hanzo, removing that mobility and removing the ability to actually use the ultimate too. Christopher has gone primal and is going to jump back to that mega health pack. Using that rather effective they are right now, but with Cruz going down, this could be very bad news to the United Kingdom. The Dragons clearing everybody from out that room. Boombox fell to it, and KSP actually ends up going down to Sab. Netherlands, they end up capping.
Wasn't the speediest take here by the Netherlands. They are going to get 4 minutes out of their time bank. That will bring them up to 5 minutes and 37 seconds. They do have 2 tank ultimates available and almost a transcendence. So the best combination available for them here to try and take advantage of the momentum that they have gained is to use the Primal Ray to try and bat people into the self-destruct. Kib giving us on the edges of our seats there, could have point-blank EMP'd onto Saab.
Nice sleep actually onto Bruce in there from around the corner. Couldn't defense matrix it. Horses going to use that barrier there. Already given up a tick though, like you said, with 5 minutes remaining. That's pretty good for the Netherlands. I'd be definitely happy with that. Got 3 ultimates online. Facility nearing that Dragon Strike, but for the time being, UK are pushing them back. Not anymore though, is that Transcendence will come out and push people into Christopher, who has the nano boost. Goomba Stomp straight on top of Sab, and he's going to chase down and electrify Crusade as KSP has jumped onto the Tracer instead here. Wants to be able to get in the face of Yona instead of just taking him in the 1v1 Widow duel.
Tactical crouches there, they are essential when you're up against double sniper to try and make sure your head hitbox is always moving. Not easy to hit. Saab's also going to be looking for those headshots from long range as he respawns on the Zinyanza, but it was pretty amateur of United Kingdom, if I'm brutally honest, Jaws. They were in control for the entirety of that fight, but still gave up a tick from the Netherlands. That means that even if the Netherlands can't take any more, it's not a guaranteed draw if United Kingdom can cap the first point of their own attack.
Now Yona and Facility have had enough with the Tracer, and so is KSP, because he's changed. Hey.
You've changed.
Hey. You changed off, no worries. Gunn's going to jump on
man.
him though. KSP, oh no! Slams his head straight into the vending machine. There's no Dr. Pepper's there, my friend. Unlucky. Korn is actually jumping on the point now. Capturing still. There's about half percentage away from another tick. Korn going extremely low. However, Kib just permanently in the back line here. You have to...
You got to
he's literally looking one way or the other. You can't look both, unfortunately. No 360-degree vision for you. Boombox is going to take out Bruceson, almost giving up a tick, like you said. But with Christopher being nano boosted here, just overwhelming seen pressure from the United Kingdom thus far, but Facility has gone on a little grand tour of its own. A nice Transcendence being used there to keep them alive in the back line, and just means they can actually get onto that point. Okay.
That's a Deadeye reload right there,
That was a Deadeye reload. Alrighty then, just gets on the point. That's 2 ticks acquired, maybe even a third. Christopher jumps straight in, and a nice EMP from Kib just lands on every member that's actually on the point, but Sab doesn't really seem to care. No abilities, no problems. They've got a few orbs for your face. That'll be Brucean taking the last kill out on Cruz in the United Kingdom. They do end up going losing 2 points there after kind of lackluster engages from the Netherlands. Netted them a few ticks early on.
I asked why when Sab used the Transcendence there after he'd lost his tanks. I thought it was a somewhat foolhardy gesture, but what we saw was it was because Facility was just clicking on so many heads, and this man, I have no trepidation in saying, Jaws, Facility is an Overwatch League tier DPS, I think. And I think Saab recognized that and thought, if I can keep Facility alive through this fight where he's really feeling on fire, and McCree can be one of those streaky heroes like Widowmaker, where you need to be able to feel yourself, you need to be able to know exactly what zone you're in, and when you find that zone, he's at its most effective. And because of that, just hits shot after shot, gets sustained by Saab, and it helps the Netherlands to really close that one out against the United Kingdom.
There was an intelligent bubble placement there from Christopher too. If you do bubble with the Transcendence available, wherever Zen is, he will obviously be healing you in that gigantic aura, but the bubble actually cuts a lot of that off, so Facility could have gone down there. It was just fortunate that he obviously corralled himself back to the point. Sab did communicate that to him and make sure he stayed alive throughout the entire thing. Even got that cheeky ultimate reload off as well.
Indeed. Potentially, if the United Kingdom had not given up that early tick, the Netherlands could have had a bit more trouble there. They did lose their Lucio early within that. Now, look at that time bank that they've got, Jaws. 3 minutes and 19 seconds. United Kingdom, despite having held them off for half the time bank on A, not quite so successful on B. And now United Kingdom have their work cut out for them if they want to claim this match. They are on match point, but for now it looks like Netherlands very capable of bringing the reverse sweep.
Yeah, they feel very at home, it seems. Facility on the Hanzo now. We are seeing Yona actually switching up. No more Brigitte. We are going onto the soldier instead, holding that high ground with Sab, so he can provide him with a lot of healing from that biofield.
And to see if KSB is going to be sticking on the somewhere instead, just going to have a little bit of scouting. Could, of course, have planned about translocated back. Looks like he is moving back over to that Widow. This is not a good idea right now for Yona. Yona's going to have to stay in the sidelines for sustained amounts of time if he wants to bring out that sustained DPS, which Soldier is so well known for. And when he's there, he is very much going to be vulnerable to the potential one-shots coming through. Just got to charge him up a little bit more, KSB.
Beautiful headshot. Facility, sub 20 HP, it looked like. KSB going very low as well, takes a couple of hits from Sab. Brucean going low too, but now KSB has a good sightline here. Can actually stop the soldier from moving, and he knows exactly where the Zenyatta is as well. Definitely stopped his moving, and heart beating as well, as Yona ends up going down, and now KSP, he's in his element. Boombox is going to take out Facility, and that will be the UK finding 3 picks almost instantly.
And that is a clean take right there. Textbook. They knew they just had to wait for Yona to get a little bit greedy, to feel like he needs to do a little bit more DPS to sustain this one out. Once it was in the sights of KSP, it was all but over, Jaws. He had the biofield down, but biofield don't do nothing against 300 damage. Far more than the helpful Soldier is giving to you. And now Yona, setting up for Soldier Life. He's going to be moving over to Doomfist. We'll have to see what Boombox has to say about that. He's almost got a Transcendence ready to go. And of course, the Discord Orb can be a very terrible affliction to a Doomfist who has to commit himself physically for every attack he makes.
We've only seen a little bit of Yona's Doomfist, and we're going to see a little bit more of it, thankfully. Facility actually going onto this far here. I spoke too soon. Okay, it's going to be Hanzo instead.
Double projectile.
Double projectile. Kib has almost got Dragon Strike, though. I'd be very worried of him. If I were you, Facility, you've got to be careful, man.
If they get revealed here, they could be easily taken out through these small corridors with that Dragon Strike. In it comes from Kib, but isn't going to be doing a huge amount of damage. It's going to be answered by the Transcendence.
Double Valkyrie straight into the double Transcendence to make sure that Dragon Strike did absolutely nothing. That'll be Kib taking out Yona, though. Problem is, Facility is still up in the skies. That's 50% ult charge already. No one ready to contest him. He's using this building with almost impunity. Can't really get hit in the skies if you're moving around so much. The self-destructs launch into the air on top of the platform. It's actually going to kill Crusade. Okay, so now Facility doesn't really have that backup he really wants. 65% and still counting, but he's going extremely close to the ground. And Christopher recognized that and instantly punishes him. Kib's going to finish off a couple too, and they are going to capture at least the first tick.
This was just what I asked for before, and Netherlands managing to defend at least that first tick for a while now, but here comes the stalling Wrecking Ball. This could be United Kingdom taking advantage of their momentum, Jaws.
Oh, he activates the shield, but it wasn't enough. Every member around him as well. Beautiful headshot on Facility. Oh dear, pin to the back of the wall. Storm Arrows come through as well. The United Kingdom, they finish and complete round number 2 with a whole lot of time in their time bank. That first initial push will really set them up for the snowball. That's 5 minutes and 15 seconds for them.
Who's the Facility isn't a team player, blinking in front of that arrow to eat it for Brucean as he came through, thinking, I can help you survive. I can help you survive that Dragon Strike. I have got you, bro. Just gonna eat this one up with my small time-traveling body. Unfortunately, you can't recall out of that one, my friend.
If you could, it'd be pretty OP, not gonna lie.
Just recall out of death. Self-res, man. Self-res. Next patch.
Next patch.
Buff Tracer.
I hope not. Tracer's already annoying from seasons, 2 to now.
From 1 to forever.
Yeah, exactly. It's always been a very solo queue hero that's very good at carrying. If you ever need solo queue tips, there you go. That's my one for the day. Just play Tracer.
Fortunately, in this case, it did not. United Kingdom powering through here, and they are going to be changing up their approach. Instead of going for the KSP widow that they had before, they are going to be going for this 3-3 composition. And this is a question mark for me, Jaws. Can KSP hold up the mantle that Mikey A had on this Brigitte? The synergy between himself and Christopher was so crisp. Can KSP match that and keep United Kingdom's 3-3 being a fearsome thing to contend with?
They're going to go for a rather cheeky engage, though, to start off with. United Kingdom holding this small right-hand room. Smex is going to get additional information, as he always does. Facility and Yona, they're on double sniper this time instead.
Facility stays up on top of here during the surprise engage. He will be rather hard to fight, but now here comes the speed boost. Christopher's all the way in.
Oh, Korn got caught so bad. He walked in, you could see, he leaped and actually hit his head on the sign. Kaplunk, straight into the ground, straight into the waiting, loving arms of the United Kingdom. And they're going to reset and do that again.
Jump concussions are the least of his problems when United Kingdom bear down upon him. You can see if they haven't got a huge amount of ultimate charge off of that fight. Netherlands lost 2 of their players, and then they quickly decided they were going to move backwards. And now they've moved over to a 3-3 themselves, but Sam's going to be playing on the Ana here, trying to afflict the anti-heal to make sure Boombox's Bardic Grasp isn't going to be quite as effective as they'd like.
It's another thing that Christopher actually has to worry about. That nade comes through. You best poop your Diva. Oh, sorry, no Diva available, of course. Oh, Smex is playing Diva. I'm blind. We're actually spectating him, of course. Nice sleep dart, though, on Smex. That'll do. Perfect nade opportunity right now. LBKSP taking out Korn, though. There's the Shadow available as well. Oh, nice boom. No. But straight into Facility. It's the Facility, just sacrificing himself for every man on the Netherlands side.
He just redirected his mail to his neighbor. And Cruz just giving a couple of hellos into the ice. He put Crusade down there. And, United Kingdom, they're a pretty confident bunch. They call themselves the Lanimals. When we talk to the Netherlands, they call them the self-proclaimed Lanimals. We'll have to see. It does look like, for now, the United Kingdom are bringing it on land, but now Netherlands are going to be bringing it to the United Kingdom defense. We're going to be speed boosting forward with Crusade. We've almost got a couple of ultimates ready to go, including that sound barrier.
There's interesting orb uses there from Boombox, but he does have Coalescence now available to it. Got to be careful, though. A Graviton Surge locking one person in place. It's going to be Korn. He is not... Oh, he does get pinned. Thought he was a little bit too far up, but absolutely not. Crusade's going to secure the kill. Smegs is trying his mightiest to actually body block Sab. Do end up securing it as well, and Boombox actually finding another one with the Coalescence. 2 support kills for him. Yeah, Crusade getting a couple of tactical crouches in the favour of Netherlands. 1 minute and 17 seconds remaining, though. This could be the United Kingdom series.
You got to use those tactical crouches shorts to try and avoid the incoming DPS of the sound waves from Crusade. They can do a huge amount of damage, just 180 per 4-wave blast. So that's why the crouching is coming through from Cruz. It's all about the avoidance here. KSP does have a rally ready to go, should be required, but first, Christopher strikes with the Earth Shatter.
Oh, the nano boost, though, on Korn is going to push him forward. He charged into the wall, didn't land anybody, but it doesn't matter. He's still a force to be reckoned with. Nice nade as well on the rest of the Netherlands squad. Yona is going to fall down first. However, Korn has got 96% on that Earth Shatter 2. Is going to dash back. They know they have to fight this tank duel with the Brigitte, so they're going to go again. They've only got 30 seconds, however. This is going to be the major tipping point here. UK do not have a tank ultimate available to them just yet. Kib's going to be able to farm his, but there's no Shatter to follow it up.
There is, however, sound barrier to sustain everyone as they decide to swing into this. Korn will have a great defense from the Graviton by being able to slam into people. There it is.
Early grab into the side, Korn trying to waylay a lot of that damage. KSP gets forced into the wall, but the sound barrier is going to save him for the time. However, with Korn in here, he's not receiving all much healing and has to back off. KSP, Kib, and Christopher are in that grab, and here comes the bomb. Kib is going to absorb all of it straight into energy. That is efficiency, my friend. Christopher moving forward, takes out Korn. Easy Shatter, no shields to stop him now. He will get stunned, but the rest of the United Kingdom have got his back. They are still moving forward. Boombox kills off Brusen. Overtime's there. It's all but gone. The UK are going to find a full hold.
Christopher's a very happy boy there, giving the old roar, the Chris champ, as some people may call it. This does mean, unfortunately, this series is now unwinnable for the Netherlands, Jaws, because they have not capped the first tick. The worst that the United Kingdom can do is to draw this, and then the maximum score that Netherlands can achieve is a 2-1. But could still be a third point here for the United Kingdom if they can capture 33%. But like we just saw, you can defend this first point for an extended amount of time, especially with a tank-based composition. We know that's exactly what the Netherlands like to run, so we'll have to see if they decide to come out with this. Crusade currently hovering over on a Mercy, I do believe, and I think that may be because they want to try and combat the attrition that can come through when you're a defensive assault team. You're so far away from your respawns. If you lose someone, it can be so important to bring them back quickly with a Mercy. That's where most of her power comes from, rather than her raw healing ability.
33%. They only have to defend for 5 minutes, man. 5 minutes and 15 seconds. That's a heck of a time bank. That will be unit on the soldiers. So they are changing up. No more tanks. Well, 3 or 4 tanks for them. It's actually going to be Facility on the Hanzo. Give us a little spin on the top of the box there. Wonder where Jonah's going to place himself. I can imagine up on this ledge on the top in the right-hand side, but Sap's going to be round with him on the ground. Maybe they want to go for something fairly early. Have to wait and see.
I'm not a huge fan of the Soldier Zone 6 in this situation. I don't think it does quite enough damage, and also you've got to be peeking up onto characters who can do a huge amount of damage. They may suspect for double sniper again coming out. We do know instead that KSP is going to be moving over onto the Brigitte. But Christopher, he's brought out the Wrecking Ball. Have to see if they're going to be able to make the dive happen. This, Jaws, is what we call dotes, or dive goats. It's got 3 diving, DPS, and 3 support. So it's basically like the goats composition, but there's no Reinhardt.
Whoopsie daisy. Boombox gets his head demolished. That will be a nice kill for Facility. 30% charge already. Thank you very much. KSP jumping over to the Widowmaker. Okay, no dotes anymore. That will be Christopher on the dive, tank on the Winston, and Smex on the Diva, and we have a KSP Widow. And yep, he's already found one. That's going to be the head of Crusade. Is actually going to hang above his mantelpiece now. Facility having to be very careful. Brusen trying to help him now, but look at the line of sight now KSP has. And that Sonic Arrow revealing the locations of the soldier. They're just going to get demolished. They've got to be so careful. Going to the rescue, but KSP's SMG way too strong. Although, can he get the shot off on the soldier's head? I don't think so, not right now. Brusen's going to dive in front of him. Facility, you've saved me enough times. I've got to save the rest of my team. Kib finds 2, though. They're going to jump on it. They only need 33%. It's going to have to be a miracle now for the Netherlands.
It's definitely not dotes, but it's definitely time to duck, Jaws. They should have cowered away from the snipers, but the United Kingdom having claimed match point here on Volskaya.
Match point. Well, that's actually the victory. 3-0 for the UK. Series win for them. And now they just have to play the 4th and final map. Looking very good for the UK at punching their ticket to BlizzCon. Just be so close to this point when we do the math. Oh, Brigitte play of the game. Something I love.
The Brigitte play of the game. Just going to be swinging around with that flail or the mace, whatever you want to call it. I personally think it's more like a flail.
I don't know. Looks like a flail, looks like a mace, also got rockets on it. I don't know how that works.
She's got the line mace to her face, and neither of us are really experts in medieval weaponry, so I suppose we will just trust the lore experts over at Blizzard and call it a mace. But we talk about Brigitte play. Let's talk about how KSP really could step into the shoes there of Mikey. Mikey is a veteran of Team UK. He's a very experienced player across multiple titles, lots of LAN experience, and really, we could see how the Brigitte play was sort of consistent between Mikey and KSP, being able to hold for so long with that 3-3 composition on the defensive Volskaya the second time around was a testament to KSP's skill there.
Yeah, KSP coming in as the substitution at half-time. He's going to play his last map as well. Remember, every map does count. Netherlands still have a chance to make it to BlizzCon, so they want to be able to take this one off the UK's hands. Here's their map choice, however. We're going to go on to Escort as our next game type.
Have to see what they want to choose, and I don't think they want to go for Rialto because the 3-3 right now appears to have shifted back in favor of the United Kingdom. Christopher seems to have a read right now on Korn, and Christopher is such a veteran tank, but it can be quite intimidating to play against him. We know Korn's quite a prolific player, and he's had very good showings versus Italy and other teams, but still, when you go up against a team as well coordinated as Team UK, which has a lot of returning veterans at pre-established synergy from last year, and you're a fresh Netherlands team, sometimes the synergy can just be too much to bear.
Well, let's have a look at what map the Netherlands did choose to go to. It is going to be Escort. Oh, it's going to be Rialto.
Well, so much for what I said. We'll have to see if Netherlands will be able to make it work. If it doesn't, I will hold a courtesy I told you so afterwards.
Well, the UK will be on the offense first, and it will be Netherlands on the defense. We'll see if they can hold fast on this first point. It's happened before, and it can happen again. Now, we did see a little bit of this dive goats, or dotes as the UK lads like to call it, in the Wrecking Ball. Unfortunately, Christopher kind of peeked his head around the corner, or peeked the ball around the corner, and just decided to slink on back to the spawn. But it could happen. I mean, extremely effective it is at jumping on the back line. Wrecking Ball does provide a fair bit of CC. If you get a pile driver and a couple of supports, they're up in the air and a little bit defenseless.
Well, whoops. It's also a fast way to go for a championship dive. That's a 10 from me, Bruce, and don't you worry, Olympic gold medal coming your way for Hamster Wrecking Ball diving. But on the side of the United Kingdom, of course, they are still in spawn, so they are able to change their picks. But let's talk about how Hammond could be effective here over Wrecking Ball, because he does have the pretty potent knockback while he's using his grapple in his ball form. It does mean that he's very dangerous when you consider how much potential there is for an environmental kill on Rialto, where everything's really taking place around this Riviera except for third and final stage.
They're going to go for a very aggressive starting here on Netherlands. They're going for this quad tank, maximum sustain. They do have the Roadhog. They want to be able to hold the UK at the door. I can imagine the UK are going to be able to spot this out or telegraph it. Or most teams are doing this right now, just getting the maximum value out of just leaving the car early.
Jonas actually playing on a different angle here. Wants to once again try and make sure that Christopher's shield is in the wrong direction so that he can drag him off the edge. You can see that he's broken all those railings there, so we can give him the old hook and the twist. See if we can grab him. There it is, and into the drink is Smex.
Oh boy, I love that hit marker sound, not gonna lie. Cruz is actually gonna find a kill on Facility though, and actually Christopher finding one on, yeah, it's actually just Yona left on the car. Okay, he's actually fighting Boombox, he gets slept. Oh, it's kind of hard to miss that target, unfortunately. Easy boop, he tried to get the hook in, but not quite enough. Cruz picks himself up the second kill here, and because he's killing these high HP targets, he already has 60% on the sound barrier.
And the Netherlands, after that hook from Jonah, they thought that this was over. They weren't prepared for United Kingdom's aggression, but 4 members, Christopher, Cruz, KSB, and Kib, well, that's a lot of season Ks right there, moved on forward. They just ran them down into the drink, and that was how they managed to get a huge amount of ult charge ready to go for the next fight.
Well, they're going to amp it up. Cruz is 80% now in the sound barrier. Now moving forwards, and Kib and Facility. Kib itching out on the head of the Graviton Surge front, 75 to 50, and Christopher doing the same also, 33% to 70, 80, 94. I will stop counting it up because it's going to be very soon. There's the nano boost. He does get instantly stunned, and there's the sound barrier as well to follow up. The Shatter does hit that floor, and that's a 4 fat Shatter. Christopher finds one with the Flame Strike, and Facility sent all the way back to his spawn straight and makes an impression on the lamppost. Quick, decisive team kill for the UK, as they do, and they hopefully should be able to cap this on this first push.
All fat milk and Shatters here, lads. No semi-skimmed options available for Christopher. Moving all the way forward, and this looks like it is going to be a capture for the United Kingdom. Netherlands going to back off. They do have a Graviton Surge ready to go, along with 2 support ultimates, which could potentially be used to try and bring back momentum, but for now, the United Kingdom look pretty happy with their position. They did expend 2 support ultimates in the last fight, so we've got to be very cognizant of the sustain that the Netherlands are going to be able to bring to bear against them.
Smex spamming that Z key to make sure he knows, the rest of his team knows when the ult's ready. They have that grab too. Could go for this bigger bang combo with the Graviton Surge with the self-destruct mixed in. No one's going to go onto that point. There's the grab straight on top of the Transcendence, however, but launched up into the air. Korn's got a good job of blocking most of it. Can't quite save Crusade though. Does end up going down, and Crusade with another boop onto Brucen. Didn't have those jets to save him, and another team kill for the UK.
Actually, quite fortunate that that worked out there for United Kingdom. A series of misplays with how they were trying to remove Korn from the fray. They also grabbed up too high on the corner of the payload, so he was out of range of Christopher's charge. He went straight under and charged someone else. And then KSP was a little bit too late with the shield bash. But now we can see Christopher's going to be a little bit sneaky, but Korn's found him out.
Oh, he knows exactly where he was. Shatter from Korn, though, is going to get laid down. I'm not entirely sure how many members that got, but that Transcendence will save the rest of his squad from the self-destruct. Nice, almost attempted boop out the way, and there's Christopher's own Shatter to try and kill off Yona. Activating the rally there at the last moments. Does end up going down with little value actually gained out of that. In fact, no value at all, as Brucen is going to fall as well. Back to back to back. Team fight win for the UK as they cap second.
No value, no problems for the Netherlands. United Kingdom going to be moving forward, and they've got yet another Graviton. Korn trying to come in with a cheeky charge, but now he's going up against two cheeky animals. Kib just throwing out those mortars, but for now he isn't really feeding his ultimate. He's actually feeding the ultimates of the Netherlands supporters to heal up that damage as it comes through. Instead, he's going to try and be a little bit more sneaky, make sure that Brucen cannot eat that Graviton, but he goes to reveal himself early. Some information coming through from his teammates.
Zidzi doesn't have his, so he can't even do a counter grab. There's the Shadow from Korn. It's blocked by Christopher. Korn's going to have to be very careful, though, as the Sound Barrier and the aggression coming through from the UK. There's the Transcendence. Already dead is Korn, though. There's the self-destruct. Smex takes 2 lives, adds them to the etchings in his mech. That'll be Christopher and KSP rounding out the fight. Still have that rally armor as well. Kiev is almost immortal on this Zarya.
Moving into the museum or the church, I'm not really sure what it is. It looks absolutely beautiful though, Jaws, and Christopher's ready to lay down another beautiful Earth Shadow. The Netherlands needs to be ready for this. They don't really have much at their disposal soon. They will have a Graviton Surge. They're down on the ground.
Korn gets stung. Christopher finds the Shadow and the pin. Sound Barrier for Netherlands. This is their last chance to stop this push. Transcendence is going to save them for the initial damage, but that bomb lands straight on top of Christopher's head and annihilates him. Will be KSP still alive and well on the car, and Smex building up towards that self-destruct, but with no frontline tank, the UK decide to make a swift exit.
We talk about attrition a lot, Jaws, and that's exactly what United Kingdom backed out there. They knew that Korn was returning to the fray in record time. Yona's going to be moving forward, has been afflicted with a Discord, or wants to try to build up towards that rally as quickly as possible, because that additional armor will be crucial for making sure Facility and Saab have the resilience to maintain through these last fights. They cannot afford to lose one. United Kingdom here, they can build up a surplus of also they need to win one fight.
And they got Kip's grab to do it with. Boombox looking healthy as well, 62% ult charge, but Sab does have his. They're going to have to wait for Smex to actually get that self-destruct if they want to go for this bigger bang again. 2 out of 3 team fights thus far. Will be Graviton Surge, sorry, coming through from the Netherlands. However, Sound Barrier to stop a lot of that damage coming through. Kib and Smex still charging their ults, and that's exactly what they do have now. Christopher's 80% on his too. Graviton Surge did come out from Kib, but actually got completely denied. I believe Brucen just ate that, and a Transcendence from Boombox to stop all the damage coming from the UK. He's still waiting for the Shatter, the perfect opportunity, but Korn was there first. He was there before and was able to kill off the support before Christopher could do anything.
Now they're just going to be hunting down the last few members of the side of the United Kingdom. You can see Saab now has a full helping of armor from having Yona use that rally. Facility's got quite a bit as well, and this is so important for Facilities. Look at him there, glowing like Christmas tree. He is going to be able to maintain that energy between fights if he can survive. And maintaining the energy is crucial to keeping up that grab generation. You can see he's almost got another one. He used one at the start of the last fight, Jones.
Got to do it. Makes us the self-destruct. KYB has almost got another Graviton Surge. 80%, he's ready, but Facility there as well. Who pulls the trigger first? That is the question. Christopher's still moving forward, and he has got that Shadow from the last fight. However, Sab working up once more, keeping in line with Boombox in these Transcendence wars. He does have his online now. Graviton Surge is only going to catch one. It's going to catch KSP. They send in the self-destruct anyway, and he is going to go down. A Graviton Surge from the UK this time, and there is Sab. He has got the Transcendence, but the self-destruct is the thing they have to avoid. Facility gets booped up into the air by the Lucio, and actually killed off by the self-destruct. A Transcendence from Boombox just in time to save Christopher, and he's got his own Shatter to kill off Yona, and now they can move forward into the gallery. They're able to just force Korn back now. Doesn't have the Brigitte by his side.
Korn needs to build up that Shadow rather quickly now. He's 80% of the way. He's going to be backing into a corner, but a high charge keeps forbidding him from moving away. It's going to be Crusade trying to make his way onto a point, but he can't.
Crusade ends up finishing him off. You could see him skirting around the columns, couldn't quite get the touch. And UK end up getting a full completion, but that was almost a 4-minute hold there by the Netherlands.
Fancy footwork coming through from Crusade, but not enough to stall out that payload. But like you said, Charles, it was a huge time bank for the Netherlands coming through. Or rather, huge time bank for the United Kingdom coming through onto that third-point defense by the Netherlands. And the Netherlands managed to invest in some stability, and stability paid off well from they held strong. There is still the completion for United Kingdom. They do have 52 seconds remaining to see if they will be able to hold themselves. But for now, Netherlands need to think about one thing and one thing only for their national pride and their chance to really show off to a lot of Owl Scouts who will be watching the Overwatch World Cup here in Paris. They need to think about how they're going to get this completion to work. And I imagine we are potentially, Jaws, going to be seeing a 3-3 tank composition.
I could imagine we are. We'll be the UK on the defense, obviously. 52 seconds, and that will be rounded up to a minute on the escort time bank. So, what is the question? Or what is the question? What is the composition is what I was going to say. Not what is the question. That technically was the question. But
the question is, what is the
a
competition?
quad tank will be coming through for the United Kingdom.
Indeed it will. KSP is going to have that additional sustain for himself by having a self-healer take a roof with a Rotom. Now not only will restore 300 HP to him, but will give him 50% damage reduction for the entirety of its channel, which is about 1.5 to 2 seconds long. Netherlands, meanwhile, look like they may be ready to have an early engagement with the United Kingdom. Saab on the Ana can come out of one of the top doors, try and lay down a bardic grenade, while Christopher's shield is focused elsewhere, likely towards Core.
Royog's got some big shoes, man. Reminds me of ZP's shoes, not gonna lie.
ZP's got some very big feet. They're size 13.
Oh, man.
He's like a small giant. Actually, Hagrid.
Actually, Hagrid's... Oh, you did actually get photoshopped into that, so there you go. And Jake was Harry Potter. So no one's seen that Photoshop. It was perfect. Korn is just fending everybody off here, and you can see already, the Netherlands are actually beating the United Kingdom with their own game here. They're actually just moving the car. They don't really care about being spawn trapped at all. They're on the bridge, and Christopher's extremely low. There's a Coalescence pushing them back, but it's actually pushing them back towards the car. Crusade comes up big, though, with a double boop on Christopher and KSP. That is the United Kingdom's defense thwarted fairly easily by Crusade. Hey, that's another kill for him. 92% now for that sound barrier. Easy teamfight win for the Netherlands there.
UK lads, I know you feel a little bit good about the series win, but I think you may have missed the point of that early defense. Just to be on the cart, stopping it from moving, but they completely forgot what they were doing, and Crusade just sat up there and kept himself nice and happy. And you know what? Because he's got the double boop, he's almost got the sound barrier ready to go. Visibly also in the lead when it comes to the Graviton.
UK able to actually get a second defense here, and the Shatter does hit the bridge, but Christopher was there with the shield to defend against it. Korn now pushed back, but the cart's still moving. There's a Graviton Surge on the side of the wall here. Christopher's going to take a life, same as Kib, and now no healing available. Actually, Sav falling to the Graviton Surge damage itself. It does slightly tick. Don't often see kills by it. That'll be Brucean resetting himself in the UK. They do win the team fight here, so the cart will be moving back. So the UK probably want to fight a little bit more forward here to make sure they get most value possible.
Yeah, and if they're fighting a little bit further forward, it does mean that Netherlands have to push through them to actually touch the payload and cease its reversing around the course through which they've pushed it thus far. Christopher afflicted with the anti-heal grenade, the bardic grenade coming out from Ana and Saab, and Saab can use that nano boost at moments notice, likely onto Korn.
Self-destruct might caught Korn a little bit off guard there. Crusade was vulnerable in the back line. Korn with the nano boost is going to be our move forward. However, Christopher is going to be the main target of his aggression. Does manage to find a pin and the kill with the help of Jonah in the sidelines. Even finish off Boombox with a flame strike. And now they're able to push forward on this cart. Christopher did have that Earth Shatter, but it was all on that nano boost coming through from Saab, keeping Korn alive at the front line.
And Korn managed to kill Christopher there through the Transcendental Boombox because of the properties of the nano boost. It gives you 50% increased damage. That meant that his pin did 450 damage to Christopher's pool of 500 health. One swing after that, I don't know, probably did about, I don't know, 110 damage, and that meant that was far more than 500. Christopher couldn't be healed in time. It's like how you can kill people with a nano blade by just doing more damage from the health available.
Well, rally for the UK, they want to fight on the bridge. So that was a little bit of armor left from his rally earlier on, but Korn does have that Earth Shatter. Facility looking good as well with 95% on that ultimate. That is a big boop coming through from Cruz. He finds another one, and another one. Oh, another my goodness. Korn coming down too. Will be Brucean jumping onto that Graviton Surge. Christopher finding yet another one. Make that 3 in this fight entirely. Cruz showing that Lucio can indeed solo carry, no matter what your solo queue teammates tell you.
He knows his boobs, man, but right now, Boombox is alone on the car. He's going to have to back off, find the rest of his team, and give them this healing transcendence that he has earned. Saab's going to be the lone ranger on the point here. Does have that now, the boost ready to go, and I imagine we will once again see it going onto corner unless Facility builds up a huge amount of charge. If he does, then he will be able to build up a Graviton very quickly.
Oh, nice. Death from above. Kib comes in with a big Graviton surge. The bomb from Smex is going to kill off Korn and Facility. Beautiful self-destruct, but Kib's positioning there, absolutely incredible. Just not being able to spot out Kib. No scouting tools really available. No sonic arrows, nothing the like. They didn't see it coming.
In execution from the United Kingdom and Netherlands. Going to be forced to go back to the drawing board. They do have 2 ultimates to work with, like we've noticed before. We do have an nano boost from Saab. I'd love to see that onto Facility when he gets the high charge to quickly do a lot of damage and build up towards that Graviton surge. Because right now he's got a premium on Kib when it comes to the generation.
Got to be careful, man. I'm looking at Cruz. He's afflicted with the bio grenade, though, so can't do the healing. There is a sound barrier coming through for all the Netherlands. Cruz isn't there just yet, but he finds yet another one, a true lion in the face of the Netherlands right now. You've got to be careful. Yono, that's twice in a row now. He's been careless to step towards that river and actually ends up taking a swim. Christopher now moving forward with the rally, the help coming through for KSP. And Cruz has earned himself that sound barrier. About time to, well, so many kills in this game already, just from the right place.
Quick retreat there from the Netherlands. They don't want any more of that nonsense. They are down to 2 minutes in their time bank, despite a quite speedy first cap here. They've been halted, and their momentum is not in their favor. Facility has built up towards a Graviton Surger, and this could really turn the tide of this point towards the favor of the Netherlands.
Smex is looking directly at him. Eye contact necessary. You've got to look for that small animation. Facility chucking it out. If he eats it right now, this could be UK still holding on to this point. 1 minute and 30 seconds do remain.
If they do, Vasily just carving himself into the armor. He wants to make sure that Smex is under pressure.
There's the grab, a little bit in front of the cart there. Boombox is going to have that transcendence once again. The Lucio's come out huge. Cruz was able to boot people upwards, meaning KSP was no way near anybody. There's no bigger bang combo for you, unfortunately. UK, Kib senses out. The bomb doesn't find anybody at all, but that sound barrier is going to find a couple of members. UK might be able to make a re-engagement here, or at least try to. They have to make this ultimate worth it. Christopher's going to come back into the fray, and Facility goes very low. Inflated with the fire grenade, now the sound barrier keeps him nice and healthy through the fight. The Earth Shatter does hit him to the ground, though, meaning he's all but vulnerable. No personal shields mean Kib can easily kill him off. Now, the KSP finding the kill onto Crusade as well, and Cruz adds another tally to the board.
And Korn being removed from a fray early meant that Kib could really carve himself some Graviton charge out of the thick bodies of the Netherlands because they had so much healing available. They just stayed there in front of his beam. And look at the time left, Jaws. We've got 30 seconds remaining. And not only that, Saba took on any charge that he might have had on the Ana to move over to his Zenyatta. Instead, they want to make sure that Christopher is put on notice that he's taking so much more damage because of the Discord Orb. United Kingdom, though, they're very much more resilient. They've got the rally armor. Kib's coming in behind with the Graviton surge.
He's done it again. Smex doesn't have self-destruct, though, so they're going to have to swing into this one. Brucean going extremely low. Now that'll be Yona taking out Christopher. Went a little bit too far. Defensive self-destruct to find the remake to force the UK back onto that cart. The problem is Crusade was caught unawares on the stairs. Is going to trip and fall down them and end up going down. That will be Yona falling as well to KSP. Kib's going to move forward. That'll be Sab finally falling, and Brucean's the last Dutch guy left on the cart. Brucean goes down, and the UK overtime, just watching it clock over. They're going to find a 4-0 in the series as soon as they find the Crusade. However, I speak maybe a little bit too soon as Facility and Crusade are back. Nope, not at all. The UK end up finding the 4-0.
They were fed to the Lions, and little did I know, these Lions won't be omnivorous because today they've been eating corn, they've been dining on the Netherlands, and they have claimed their 4-0, and they've shown exactly why people believe them to be one of the strongest groups in this stage. A lot of people pegged the Netherlands as the third-place finisher, and they may certainly be that now. This could have sealed their fate unless some monumental collapse happens on the side of either the UK or France.
Gentleman's handshakes. There you go.
The high five.
Crusade's in with the high five. Smex has been just performing phenomenally this entire series. It can be very tough to actually pull that combo off because, again, you are looking for this Brigitte to actually slam the shield to make sure the Ryan drops shield, but Graviton Surge straight into the Diva Bomb, again, could be fairly tough. There's 3 cogs of that machine. You have to make sure that shield is removed, either by a Reinhardt charge or the shield bash from Brigitte, and they are pulling it off extremely well. And this team, remember, isn't a team that has been together for a long time either. A lot of them have very historical experience, yes, but it's been a month or so that they've had to work on this.
And not only that, you have to worry about mitigating the Xayah, who can use their projected barriers to block the entirety of that blast. They can shield people behind them, they don't just need to shield themselves. Like, if it's coming from here and I shield, you're going to be safe, my buddy. However, it's also risky. If Xayah manages to shield that, they get a huge boon of energy. If they use 2 projected barriers and they both manage to shield away the self-destruct, that's 83 energy to use towards the next Graviton Surge.
It's looking all too good for Team UK right now. Still sitting pretty at the top of the board, 4-0. I gotta say, I want to hear from an interview, I'm gonna be honest. I want to hear Boombox on the stage. Zoe has got an interview.
Thank you so much. I have Boombox from Team UK joining me. And that was, well, a 4-0, but 2 of those maps ended up a lot closer than the scoreline actually suggests. Were you at all caught off guard by how much resistance your opposition put up?
We knew Netherlands would be one of our harder opponents, so we didn't take them lightly. The first 2 maps were quite close, but we managed to keep going and change it around, so we're winning easily.
Donc finalement, le match était plus compliqué que prévu, c'était plus dur finalement pour l'équipe d'Angleterre, du Royaume-Uni pardon, pour tenter de l'emporter. Finalement, voilà, on a réussi à se réunir et à jouer de meilleure manière pour pouvoir ensuite prendre le pas et remporter la victoire.
Did you actually get to watch their games throughout this group stage, and did you prepare specifically against them?
We watched some of their games, like especially against Italy earlier today, and saw their picks and tendencies, and we decided to pick Hamsaram out.
On a donc étudié un petit peu leur composition, et donc on a plus décelé ce qui était la meilleure composition pour pouvoir l'emporter.
Can you smile for me just once?
No.
All right, I tried. I really tried. All right, I did everything I could, everyone. But you have all the reasons to be happy right now. Oh yeah, actually translate that, so we hear everyone laugh.
Tu as toutes les raisons d'être heureux aujourd'hui.
And he didn't. Yeah, that's what just happened. All right, Boombox, tomorrow, the last game of the day is going to be the UK going up against Team France. And that's, I mean, from a viewer's perspective, this has to be the most anticipated series of the whole group stage. Do you as a player share this sentiment?
We will beat France in front of our home crowd. 4-0, it'll be pretty easy.
All right, all right.
Quel est votre sentiment demain pour le match contre la France? Et à cela, Boombox répond, ce sera très simple, nous mènerons 4-0, GG.
Yeah, Boombox, the winner of the hearts here in front of the France crowd. But I like the confidence, Thank you so much for joining me down here on the floor. Thank you so much for helping out with the translation. We're now heading over to our castles to break down that last series of the day.
All right. Bit of spice from Boombox there.
British arrogance putting the boo in Boombox today from our French crowd.
Well, let's have a look at that stat card from Boombox himself. You know, he did crack a little bit of smile at the end there, I'm just saying.
Just a little bit.
44k, 45k healing, 36k damage done. That's a heck of a lot of offensive assists as well. 104 limbs.
And only 11 deaths over the course of the series. That means that he was being incredibly well protected and he was positioning himself so well. Often we saw that people were rushing into him on the side of the Netherlands. They were trying to move in with that 3-3 composition using the speed boost from the Lucio, but often it was Cruz who managed to get the boops, managed to support his fellow support. That's a...
I mean, that's what you have to do.
That's a weird thing to say. But he managed to support his fellow support. He managed to speed boost him out or boop away those who would transgress against him and make sure that he was always safe in the face of danger.
Cruz has definitely become one of these top-tier Lucio players as well, alongside people like Funny Astro. We've seen EU contenders. Being able to boop away offensive Genjis, for example, away from the Zenyatta is really paramount to when they don't have this Transcendence. If they don't have it, they can't pop it. They need all the protection in the world. Zen isn't the most mobile of heroes.
And I think what's paramount to that is that Cruz has experience as a top-tier projectile DPS. He's won various Overwatch tournaments as a projectile DPS with E-United before, so he really understands how these heroes work. When he looks at a Genji, he knows exactly how he needs to time his boot, where he needs to be positioning it to get the maximum efficacy out of Lucio to try and shut down those ultimates and those dives.
Well, let's have a look at some of those replays then from the last 4 games. Recollect our thoughts, or if you've joined in the last couple of games, you can have a look at what happened first up. Yeah, this is one pick that we've seen a whole bunch from EU contenders. His ability to position here, just using that environmental terrain to find boop after boop and kill after kill on that Pharah.
And Yona here, he managed to make himself quite a showreel when it came to the McCree, and eventually the Netherlands did win this stage of Oasis. They managed to come out on top of the University, but unfortunately couldn't quite stand up to United Kingdom's 3-3 on this particular map. And one of the things about the 3-3 of United Kingdom that we mentioned before was the substitution of KSP into the roster. And we can see how Mikey A here is with Brigitte during the first half of this game. He did manage to fulfill that role very well for the, I almost called him the British Hurricane, Team United Kingdom. But KSP was able to fulfill it just as well. There's just as much synergy available.
Kib has got a hero pool so wide, it's actually insane. He can play literally everything, it seems. You can see him on the Genji there. Pick up a nice 2K on the point on Blizzard World. That turn of the back, getting shattered into the Diva bomb, just so beautiful. Facility, once more, apparently everybody on the side of the Netherlands can play the McCree. Yona performing exceptionally well. Facility doing exactly the same thing, but this is why they brought KSP in. The Widowmaker player doesn't seem to miss a shot.
Widow God himself. I imagine Mikey A can also play the serviceable Widowmaker. It's a fantastic hit scan DPS. But Lucio's really have been the name of the game over the course of this entire series. And both Crusade and Cruz are such fantastic Lucios. But not only are they getting great boosts, but their vanilla player is fantastic as well. When you look at how they're using the Soundwave Blaster, which is a very hard weapon to master, because not only are the projectiles slow and they're easy to avoid, but they also come in bursts of 4.
Oh. Every time I hear that hit marker.
That's some Winston on land.
Oh,
right there.
no.
The execution.
With another one. Hello. Just gives him a little wave goodbye. He had so many on Rialto as well on that bridge. It was Yona more often than not on the Brigitte. Just eliminated him. Easy right click. Facility versus Kib was another big matchup also. These two Zayas just... I want to compare him to people like Hardest who just are so good at charging these grabs. It is a grab every single fight. It was just Kib at the very end of the final push for the United Kingdom on the offense here. I was just charging them just ever so slightly quicker and just enabled them to cap the rebounds.
And let's not forget that both of these players, when our scouts look at them, they will be looking at how flexible they can be, and to have the Xayah in your repertoire as a DPS player to show that you can flex off to these off-tank roles and you understand synergy with a rotating roster of main tanks, especially when these guys are moving between different teams and making sure they have separate synergies quickly established with other teammates and with main tanks. That's one of the most appealing things to people who are scouting players.
Yep,